Lawyers beware, they shooting out here.
NERDSoul.
Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? We putting together geek and hip hop. We ain't gonna waste no time because we gotta catch up before tonight's episode of what? Cloak and Dagger. And we're kind of continuing on from the discussion that started behind the stained glass in this episode, which is call and response. And I love the intercut nature of this story and the conversation between, of course, Tandy and Tyrone. Now, of course, it ended very sour, but during it, I like just them getting to know each other, getting to feel each other out, knowing that they're the only ones that can kind of understand each other, or at least halfway what they're going through, due to how their powers work and what's happening with their powers. I like how they kind of describe to each other what they saw from the other side with their stories. Kind of like, he was like, you kept running away and, over and over, and you didn't fix it until you stayed and you fought and you won. And then her on her side saying that, you've got a death wish as well towards the end. So that this show is doing a very good job early on of setting up these people, setting up their families and what they're about, especially in a little while. We're going to get into the families in just a moment, but I want to talk about the ride, I guess, that we go on through these separate storylines, because we get a lot of love shown to the families. In this case, we're looking at Tandy's side. She finally comes back home, kind of like a peace offering, talks to her mom, and we see that there is some common ground there. When they finally let down those barriers, it was good for a moment where they just had some peace and were able to talk to each other about what's going on with, I believe his name is Greg, probably messing it up, but Greg, who is the lawyer, coming in and kind of like what he expects from this relationship, and seeing his intentions, his hopes after she touched him, and seeing that, dude is, he's a relatively good guy. Now, I mean, good guy meaning like he honestly cares for her mom, but he's still cheating on his wife at this time. So he's not that good. He's like semi-good, like his intentions are good, I guess. But the investigation that they go on is what really just opened my eyes to how deep this rabbit hole has been going and for how long. I mean, like all that paper, all that research, and he was actually getting somewhere. And I like the change in Tandy towards him when she saw that he was genuinely working on this. Like, this wasn't a situation where he was saying that he was, but he was genuinely working on this. And also, to the end of this storyline, we find out that there's definitely something there, because he got killed for that. And for Tandy to show up just soon enough to see that shows that this Roxanne thing is going down a very deep, dark rabbit hole. Now, there's some other stuff I want to get to on Tyrone's side, but first, of course, KURO Brand is going to help us pay them bills. Yeah, check that link below. Hats, shirts, hoodies, all that jazz. And once you find something you like, of course, cop it. So Tyrone, outside of the conversation behind the stained glass, we have a young man who's pretty disrespectful. Like, okay, we know that his older brother has passed, and kind of like what that went through and how it's been affecting, and how it affected and still is affecting the family. But the way he popped off at his parents, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa there, little brother. Whoa, you know what I'm saying? Check yourself. But they let it ride. And then later on in that day when he came back, his dad was like, look, I've been looking for my bolt cutters, where they at? And he grabbed his bag, and when he opened it, he was like, here go the bolt cutters right here. Why you lie to me? Then he jumped off on it. He was like, because black dads ain't playing that. Black, they ain't playing that. He was like, look, come with me now. We taking a ride. So the ride that they go on is great for history and for closure and connection's sake. I like how he went, I believe, back to the 9th ward, and they were talking about how he was from the 7th, how he came from the 7th ward and everything. So it was good to see him, him and meaning his father, come back to his roots and show what his older brother had started, and them working together to finish that. Also, the lore and the story of the spy boy, which is something that I think is going to connect very strongly with Tyrone and his powers and what he's able to do. Moving across great distances, being able to see other people's lives, stuff like that. It worked, and I think it was right on time for what Tyrone needed and what his dad needed too. What they need together, working on. I'll just say that cloak because it's Cloak and Dagger. Working on that cloak together, I think they need that. And it's good for them to both have something that's their own that they share that also honors his brother. So I love that part of the story. And I want to see where this kind of like this extended family that he's now been brought into leads. And that's where this show is shining for me, because even though they have their issues together that they're going through, Tyrone kind of has his own story now with, of course, the spy boy and finishing the cloak and this extended family. And then Tandy has this, and of course, I'm sure they're going to dovetail, but she also has this story where she just witnessed a hit and she knows that this research or whatever is definitely going to take you a lot further and a lot darker and a lot more dangerous than she probably ever thought it would go. So am I excited? Yeah. Am I happy? Yeah. Am I digging this show? Definitely. So before I leave you, I will say that I did like in the dinner scene how the mom was like going to answer your phone, and then when he answered his phone, she got all mad. And then I was sitting there watching, me and my wife were watching, like, yo, like, I don't get why, if he's married and his wife is calling, why would you tell him to pick up the phone just to end up mad with him? Like, I don't get it, man. She was tripping. But guys, holla at me. I'm gonna holla at you. Down in them comments, let's talk about Cloak and Dagger. Let's get ready for the episode tonight. I'm excited. And before I bounce, I'm gonna tell you guys to hit up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right. Check me out right there. All my videos from the oldest, newest, latest, greatest, and all that. Then hit up shop.ThatNERDSoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt player. Don't forget to get one for them playettes. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that NERDSoul. That's right. There's no better way that I can show people that you like what you are watching. So, LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart. And please be good to yourselves. Please be good to each other. And remember, man, working alone in your small business at night is not always the best thing to do. Peace.